We're here at the Transport Your Activism ride here on Monday, June 21st. One of the hundreds of rides as part of Pedalpalooza. Here today we're going to go look at some problems with our transportation system, gaps in our transportation system, and look at sort of the conditions on the ground. If we can find hot spots, areas where fixes are no-brainers and are direly needed. All right, welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for being here. What we're going to try to do today is we're going to try to stop by a handful of sites where you can clearly see problems in equity, in safety, in access for people who are not in cars.
Okay, and who all is interested in traffic and transportation issues in Portland? Okay, so what we're here to do today is to do what the city of Portland didn't really encourage us to do, which is to go and find all sorts of problems and call them in and tell them to fix them on the spot.
You know what, it's not just one of us who wants this, it's hundreds and thousands of us. So let's build $1 million cycle tracks. We can do it.
But it was people who had great ideas about putting in streetcar that got it in. It was people who had great ideas about stopping the Mountain Hood Freeway that got it to stop.
You know, back when Tom McCall was governor of this state, he fought to get 1% of the highway fund set aside for bike projects, which is awesome. That was a generation ago. That was back when I was just being born. We haven't made a lot of progress since then, interestingly enough.
Right, you set it to level, and then you measure how high it is at 36 inches.
There's actually 1,100 feet between legal crossings in this section of Naito Parkway because we didn't have funding to complete from Davis to Flanders. The City of Portland ripped out that walkway. The #1 reason cited was crime. Here we are. Here's what we're left with. And this, if you watch, especially during a really hot, warm summer day, people flood across this all the time. $408,000 is approved for funding via ODOT, which happens to be located right across the street here. They're not full stoplights. They are going to be that flashing yellow, watch out, somebody's coming, hope you stop kind of signals.
It's platted. They have funding coming along, but somebody's dragging their feet. And so to get this kind of thing going, my personal favorite approach is to contact the bosses of the outfits that are not acting.
The only cheat sheet information you really need is having in your phone 503-823-SAFE. That's the neighborhood safety and livability hotline, and it's your #1 way to plug in to the city of Portland and ask why is this way, or to report that something is unsafe.
Okay,
So they're afraid to have anything car back. 12.
And what's an acceptable width?
11.
And what's the skinniest you can go? Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys guess how wide the bike lane and how wide the driving lane are here?
I'm going to take the wide far.
5 takes it. And then the driving lane?
12.
10.
10.
So they did a good job here because they minimized the driving lane and sort of maxed out the bike lane. You don't want to have the bike lane minimal and like everything else acceptable.
In 1995, a proposal was put forward to build a 550 space 12-story parking garage on this location. And Portland said no. And now we have a beautiful urban space for gathering.
Hooray for advocates.
This parking. Here's what used to be an open public space. They don't really use their bathrooms.
Yeah, brand bike and all that.
It costs $9 million, mostly funded through private donations. It's named after Simon and Helen Director Park. The interesting thing about the park blocks and the interesting thing about this park, there are really no curbs here. The roadway slopes right down, right to a roadway. If you've ever been to cities in Europe, you see that everywhere.
This extra big depth, and the whole idea is all that's going to go into here before it goes into the pipe, before it overflows the poop into the river.
Okay, so this is backspace. If the car lanes are designed improperly, then anybody that doesn't fit in the car lanes is going to go where?
Into the bike lane.
Into the bike lanes. So if you have 2 lanes, what's the standard width?
12 feet.
But what's a sort of shorter width?
10 feet.
11 feet.
And what's the minimum width?
10.
Okay.
10 sucks.
Okay, and then suppose your lanes are going around a corner like this. Do you think that affects how wide the lane has to be?
Oh, hell yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
You'll go over the lane and hurt people.
Yep.
Cyclists.
Especially what kinds of vehicles are going to go over the lane?
Big ones.
Big
Long ones.
buses.
Nope. Nope. You got close.
What sort of solutions do we see here for relatively easy, redesign of this squiggle to make it so that your grandma can ride her bike downtown?
Put them on the sidewalks. Extend the sidewalks out. Get them, separate the modes.
It's
It's 25 miles an hour right here.
At least as wide as
Well, I'll wait till he turns green.
And then they should both be given.
I'm getting cars going 48 and a 25. Rarely do they have a green light and they're going less than 40 in a 25 mile an hour zone. Look at that, all the way in the bike lane right there. All the way in the bike lane right there.
With the fluorescent lights shining down, I almost fell off of my bike twice today. I was trying to turn my neck around to see